Hey guys, it's Deb. For those of you guys who don't know me, my name's Deb Acker. I want to welcome, first of all, everyone that's new to our community. I am so beyond grateful to have you here. And just for you, so if you don't know about me at all, I'm an intuitive life coach and energy healer, and really I clear energy blocks to all kinds of things. And really, who I came here to be and who I help my clients to be is to become a powerful creator. Because when we can become a powerful creator, we have the ability to literally create every single thing in our universe, right? And so that's been my journey as well, to just literally creating every single thing that I've ever desired, wanted, and becoming that within myself so I could just draw that in and attract that. So I want to do a series. I'm just feeling called to do a series because I love helping people create, and I love helping people figure out how to work with our energy. So it's interesting, right? Because we get taught that our energy is like weird, it's out there, it's a little spatial. We're like, what is energy and how do I work with it? And part of my mission on this planet is to help people to work with it in a tangible way, right? Because, there's so many times when we go to have something in our life, when we go to whether it's getting a new job, creating more money, creating a new relationship, all those things, we look and we change what's on the outside. So maybe we get a new haircut, we're looking to attract someone new, or we get a new job, or we ask for a raise. And those are all awesome and amazing. And that's all what I call playing in the physical. But there is also this whole other side of things that I'm really passionate about, as you can probably tell, that's all around playing with our energy. And it's a huge tool that we can use literally to shift every single thing on our planet and every single aspect of our own life, right? And I'll give you one example. I don't rarely talk about this example, but it's a really awesome and amazing example, and I want to share it with you guys here. So years ago, I was in the corporate world, and my last corporate job, I was actually in medical sales. And so I had gotten on the spiritual journey, and I had been doing, I started with meditation, and I had done a lot of pattern work. I love working with patterns and helping people to see themselves clearer and then shift that. And so I had been doing a lot of work personally on myself and shifting my patterns and the biggest things that were holding me back from having the life that I wanted. And I had saw a program all around clearing energy blocks. And at the time, I had no clue really what that was. I didn't know what it meant. They were literally clearing abundance blocks. And so I was like, ooh, that sounds juicy. I'd love to create more money in my life. But I was still in medical sales. And so I kind of took a leap of faith, right? I was like, okay, I'm going to take this leap of faith. Hello, please say hello if you'd like. I'd love to see who's here and welcome you. And so, I was on this journey and taking, I started listening to this program, right? Listening to these audios around clearing abundance blocks. And as I started to do this, I found myself, literally all of a sudden, all this income started coming in my corporate sales job. And I was like, oh my God, this is crazy, right? I started to develop these mantras. And this is, first of all, one tool, right, to becoming a powerful creator. So for me, I started to notice things that were happening in my life. Like all of a sudden I was bringing in more money. I started literally people were selling things on my behalf in my territory, and I was making the money from it, right? So one thing that I started to do, because I was like, oh cool, I'm creating this, I want to create more of it. So one thing that I started to do was I started to literally be like, oh, okay, people are selling things in my territory. I want to create more of that. So what am I going to do? I literally started to put out oh, people just keep selling things on behalf of me, right? I put that out as a mantra. And every time it would happen, I would keep saying it over and over and over again. And of course, I kept attracting more and more and more of it, right? And so it was something that was so cool because one other thing I started creating around this time with clearing my abundance blocks, right, clearing energy blocks, is I started getting random checks in the mail. So again, I decided, I was like, okay, I'm going to attach to that. Whoever joined, if you want to say hi, it's funny because people pop in and they pop out. But so I started getting these random checks in the mail, and again, I wanted to create more of that. So as I was clearing my abundance blocks, I was like, oh, cool, like these random checks are being mailed to me, like things that I wasn't expecting. I was like, oh, look, it's $20, it's $500. It was all these random amounts, right? So I was like, oh, I kept putting out. I was like, I get random checks in the mail. And then, of course, I kept attracting more of that. So point being, I was talking about energy. It's interesting because I'm feeling very high vibration today. But a couple of things, right? With our energy, we get taught that it's sort of woo-woo, or it's sort of out there, right? And the truth of the matter is that our energy is like this huge, powerful, ridiculous tool that literally we can use to attract every single thing we want in our life. And it's just about learning how to actually use it, right? Learning how to use it in your favor so that you can actually use it to create every single thing that you've ever been wanting to create, right? And recognizing so many times when we go to create something, and especially like if we're like, okay, I want to, get a new job, and then we're like, oh my God, I keep experiencing this rejection. Why do I keep experiencing this rejection, right? And many times the root of that rejection is actually something from when we're a kid, right? And so literally you have to clear the thing that happened when you're a kid to create a new reality in your present day. And so we're like, well, I'm doing everything possible. I'm putting out resumes. And literally it's something energetic that's been, like I said, from sometime maybe when you're like 5 years old, it's something energetic from that you need to clear so that you can actually attract the type of job you're wanting to attract. So that's one piece. And the second piece, in terms of becoming a powerful creator, and so you can use your energy, right? You can use your energy to really create anything you want, right? And like I said, that's a lot of how, like, I teach people how to do this, right? Because, like this journey, so it's interesting, right? When I started my journey, I came from a very logical family. So my dad was a lawyer, my mom was a teacher, and most of what I got taught in my life was all around logic, right? And it's like, we got to be logical. You got to follow. This is the logical thing to do, right? And so as I started this journey, my journey was definitely all the way from my head into my heart, right? To know my truth, to be able to recognize my truth. But as I did that, and as I started to work with energy, all of a sudden it was like, oh, wow, like things. So people they ask me all the time, they're like, how do you create things so quickly in your life? Because my journey, as I've worked with energy and cleared out the things that are stopping me from creating those things really quickly, right? Things have happened like really super quick. And literally the way that I've created every single thing like really quickly in my life is knowing how to work with my energy. So today's tip and tool, that's a little bit about my story, but today's tip and tool that I want to encourage you to do is when you find something that is working in your life, attach to it and keep putting it out there. So it's very important to recognize, our words are a very powerful tool for creation. And literally, it's a lot easier to create from something when you're like, oh my God, this happened. I want to create more of that. I'm going to put that out there as something that I want to create. So two things, right? Recognizing that your words are a powerful tool. And so recognizing, like, if you're putting out something you don't want, recognize that you're going to be creating from that. So be very mindful of what you're choosing to say, how you speak with others, what you say inside, what's going on inside of your head. And then the second piece is when something is working for you, attach to that and put it out there so you can start to create more of that. So thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for joining. If you have questions, I'd love to hear how this video lands for you, right? Is this something you're already doing? And if so, how you're doing it? And if this is something you haven't done and you haven't thought of, I'd love to hear like what comes up for you around this. Is this something that you think you can do? Just any sort of tools that you use to create in your life. I'd love if you could share below. And of course, if you have any questions, I'm always here for you, and I love just being able to support you in any way that I can. Sending much love. Bye.